All right, moving on, Liquid Intelligent Technologies, a Pan-African group, has partnered with the UK-based company Raspberry Pi to sell low-cost programmable computers to schools. Such a good news to many schools. Let's have a look at that story.
What has been going on today here is we've been announcing our partnership with a company called Raspberry Pi. It's a British company, and they make low-cost computers, predominantly starting for people who create things, hobbyists, but also they've been used very much in education. And they are owned by a foundation. So also here we have the Raspberry Pi Foundation. Now, the reason we've partnered with these two companies, with this organization, is that what we do in Kenya is we've been putting infrastructure to schools, connecting government schools and private schools with high speed internet, trying to bring down the cost of internet and connecting more schools. But we see that there's a big challenge in schools for the cost of computing devices, and then also the curriculum as well to teach around computer science, around coding. With Raspberry Pi and the foundation, we have both of those in the mix. Raspberry Pi hardware is lower cost. We are distributing that in Kenya to schools as well as industrial clients. But schools, bring down the cost of the computer labs. Children can even buy them for home or take them home. They're very portable. But then Raspberry Pi Foundation, they're bringing curriculum that is then working on those devices and other devices. You find that it might be hard to connect schools that way, but there are satellites, right? So we hear a lot about Elon Musk, but we already have satellites in Kenya. The other week I was in very far north of Lamu on an island, Kiwayu, very close to the Somalian border, putting in connectivity at a school with a satellite link. So we have that for everywhere, so there's no one should be left behind. But with the Raspberry Pi, one of the things we're doing with the Raspberry Pi, we have an offline solution. So you can use the Raspberry Pi like a server, and it will then provide a Wi-Fi hotspot. You can put educational content on that device, and it will beam that educational content around the school. But it doesn't need to connect to the internet. So even people who can't get internet connectivity or can't afford, they can get a very cheap device which will then distribute educational connectivity. And then when you want to update that content, you can travel somewhere with the flash card, you can update the flash card and then bring the content back. So there's no reason to leave anyone behind. They are from like 1,200 shillings up to the Raspberry Pi 400 is like a premium product, but it's an all-in-one computer, and that's going to be with the taxes, it'll be about 17,000 shillings inclusive of VAT. So somewhere
uses as well over the years, but really still at the heart of our mission is giving young people access to programmable computers in the same way that I had access to programmable computers back in the 1980s. I became a computer programmer back. I owe everything that I have in life. I owe my education. I actually owe my family life. I met my wife through my involvement in computing. So I owe everything I have to the fact that I had a programmable computer on my desk as a child.